Lately I was watching Pluribus, and in that series I came across one of the most beautiful guitar instrumentals I've heard in all my life. It even made me watch this series twice, and I thought today would be a great chance to take a deep dive into this piece of music, see how it's structured, how the individual guitar parts are arranged, and most importantly, what you can take as inspiration from it. Let's go. The song I'm talking about today is Esperanza by Hermanos Gutiérrez. Sorry for the accent, I don't speak Spanish. But either way, this is one of the coolest songs I've ever heard, and it's a perfect example of making two guitars work with each other like an entire band section. We have this first dramatic brooding section that suddenly opens up completely into this motion. And this one comes a single time, and once we hit that, it's all the time going up. So the funny thing is, in the beginning, the chord progression goes down. And towards the end, it goes back up. And in between, one of the most beautiful plateaus I've heard in my life. Of course, I was playing tried versions here to narrow down the harmony a bit. Next up, we're going to go through the individual guitar parts where we're gonna really see how to make these basic chord progressions that magical. Let's start off by taking a look at Alejandro's guitar part. His guitar is basically a semi-acoustic in drop D played over some amplifier with a spring reverb. He follows the chord progression I mentioned at the beginning, but the way he voices it is really genius in my point of view. He starts with a G power chord with a minor third on top, and then instead of just going moving all the notes, he always leaves some notes lingering and some moving. For instance, this is the first voicing. Then the bass goes down, but the rest stays on top, which is very dramatic. Then the next chord is ultra spicy, which is basically a C minor 6 over an E flat. There goes the first chord that you wouldn't be able to play in E standard, for instance. Why is that so great? Because that, by leaving the C and the note A lying there, we can go into a D7 much more fluently. And that's really the genius about these parts. Instead of just moving all the notes all the time, they morph into each other. Some stay and some move. You have one jump here, but the top voice, this guy here, stayed lying there. As for the rhythm, he basically follows the following pattern. And what makes it really tricky is the intricate interplay between palm mutes and percussive elements. He starts in the bass on the low D, goes to the bass on the A, and back down again. And in between, he fills it up with D strings and the claps. Let's take a listen. And of course, this did not sound remotely the same because he does all of that while palm muting the strings, because otherwise it wouldn't be so fun. As for the rest of the songs, he applies it then to the different harmonies, being in the plateau section, G minor, B flat major, then best chord ever, D7, and back. And afterwards he goes to a C minor 6 over E flat, minor 7, and back up again. While Alejandro's guitar takes care of the, let's say, rhythm section of the song, driving the whole thing forward, playing in the bass and the lower registers, Stefans' guitar lives above it and really creates this nice ambient texture of arpeggiated guitars that envelop the entire piece. For sound, I think a bit of compression, light tremolo and reverb really can do the trick here. He plays a G minor in inversion, D minor, C minor, D7. or F sharp. But that's only half the picture, because the real magic in the way he plays lies in his use of dynamic. By alternating how much emphasis he puts on the D string or the higher strings, he can shift the low voice into focus. And it's a bit like water, you know, it's like he accents the low D string just by the way he plugs the strings. So the D string takes the center stage as the story. And as soon as you back down from plugging this D string so hard, the higher notes envelop it again more. It really creates the sense of relief, freedom, and space that they leverage perfectly with the rhythm guitar, which is basically what I call the plateau in the song. It's a bit like if you walk up before sunrise towards a mountain and then you reach the peak of it and suddenly you see you have the sun shining in your face again. Yes, I'm Austrian, I did another mountain analogy, but that's how the song feels to me. And in there they added a little secret sauce with a Lapsteel Slide guitar that I think Alejandro was playing. Basically, the bass goes, or the harmony, up the scale, and the melody simply follows the chord notes. What are the things we can learn from this piece of music? I would say, number one, simplicity. The arrangement basically has two main parts, one going down and the last one going all the way back up again, with a very beautiful plateau connecting them in the middle. Basically 3 parts feeding into each other like a stairwell. Second thing you can learn from this part, I think, and take as inspiration, is the ingenious layering of guitar. I think guitar has some split personalities of a drum kit, a synthesizer, a keyboard, a piano, and vocal cords, for instance. And what you can hear very well here is how the bass and drum sections can be implied with nothing more than finger picking and some low voiced chords. Especially with the higher guitar, one thing I think you can take away from this is the ingenious interplay of dynamics, because if you played it perfectly evenly, it's sort of boring. But if you bring the low voice out and let the high note swallow it, with the power of dynamics, you can highlight different parts of the frequency spectrum in a chord, i.e. different voices. Which brings me to the fourth part, going back to Alejandro's guitar part, the voice leading. Not moving chords in chunks, going hit the road jack all over the place, but morphing them into each other by leaving some notes and moving some other ones. And all of this is done in such a simplistic way that 2 people carrying guitars can travel the world playing these songs with no need for tour vans or no need for intricate sound technicians, I think, drummers and big bands and whatnot. This is an extremely street music loop friendly setup because it's only 2 guitars, and if you just grab a looper, think of like the different registers of a band or an orchestra happening on the 6 strings of a guitar. You can then add the bass, add the middle voices and the high voices on top, and imply them with creativity and feel. I hope this video inspires you to create your own music using these concepts, make sure to check out Hermanos Gutiérrez. Link is down here in this description. Let me know in the comments if you want more song breakdowns in the future. And apart from that, have a wonderful week and see you soon.